Welcome to Prodigy Sport Stations. P.S.A. podcast is an unconventional podcast that challenges the audience to think outside the box using real-life experiences, clever narratives, original quotes, and the creative use of satire in order to break the audience free from negative paradigms and push them towards their own personal growth. This is by no means a method to condemn or bash the audience, but instead encourage and showcase a different perspective that might not have been seen before. P.S.A. is designed to showcase to the listeners that the power of the mind is not a joke, and if a person can learn to control their mind and their thoughts, they will ultimately control their life. This podcast serves as a means of entertainment and educational purposes only, and not a replacement for therapy or any other type of professional help that the audience may desire. What's up? I guess I'm Martin today. I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm giving y'all roll bounce, like cocaine poppy snowfall. I ain't got no hair on my chest because it's nasty. But I got the chest out a little bit, But I'm back again with the solo visual. Back again, and we killing the game. I took a week off because I needed a little rest. I did, but it's up there. We here, all right. This episode, I know you seen the title. I know you seen me throwing up the foes, and no, I'm not with Lil Baby, not yet, but still, we got to talk about it. So today's episode, in case you didn't read it, and in case you did and couldn't read, and maybe read in Braille or something. And I don't have a Braille version yet, but I will soon, because me, P.S.A. caters to everybody, the old, the young, the deaf, the blind, we do it all. So today's episode is titled 4 Reasons Why Your Side of the Story Doesn't Matter. All right. The meme reads, as hard as it sounds, be okay with people not knowing your side of the story. Inspiration comes from my life. Personally, it's been times in my life, my whole life, a cameraman in the back nodding because he know my whole life, I done been trying to explain myself. But in 2016, around 2015, 16, around then was when I got peace and stopped trying to explain myself. If you feel a way about something, I may tell it, and I'm not going to keep going back and forth about it. But you have to know when to do it, because sometimes you need to explain, sometimes you don't. We're going to get into that today. Also, I hate to use this example, but we kind of look at police brutality. I'm going to touch a little bit more on that later, because even with police brutality, again, I'm not going to say all cops are bad, and no, not all cops are racist, but for the ones that are, when they see these, black people, and they aren't doing anything and they kill them, it was something behind that. They didn't want to hear their side of the story, especially for the ones who only had the hoods on, who didn't have weapons, didn't have anything. You know what I'm saying? Who literally wasn't doing anything, and then they got killed. So, RIP to and unfortunately I hate saying that, but it's too many people to name. But RIP to everybody who lost their life due to police brutality, and not even just in the recent years, just throughout history. All right. Typically, I do a story time. We're not going to do a story time today. I just want to give y'all a scenario. All right. And I want for the story time to kind of compare it to the little boy who cried wolf. So remember the little boy who cried wolf. It was the little boy who cried wolf. I don't know what his name was in the story, so I'm going to just say little boy. And little boy cried wolf. And so he will always tell the town people, y'all, look, the wolf is coming. The wolf is here. The wolf is here. The people get on go, and they ready to see the wolf. And he never come. He did it 2 or 3 times. And the one time he did it, the wolf actually came, right? Nobody believed him. Why didn't they believe him? Because he kept trying to tell. He basically was a liar. All right? He kept trying to make a joke out of it. The lesson I guess we could get from that is that sometimes people not going to listen to your story because of your history. So in this case, his history, he said, y'all, the wolf coming. The wolf came, and nobody believed it when actually time he came, because he always lied. You may be right, but sometimes people just don't want to hear it because it's you. Ouch. That's a hard one, right? You ever been there before? You ever said something or knew something and people were just like, they just talking. That's why. And also, you will stress yourself out trying to explain yourself to people. Look, It's stressful. Sometimes you be explaining. You seen that meme of Lisa Simpson where she crying and she like this, and then they said, "What you crying for?" She like, "I'm not crying," and tears falling down her eyes. That's the one I think of. Make sure we add that clip in the video, and I'm gonna send it to you. All right. Okay, so let's move on. Favorite segment, y'all. I'm by myself. Ain't nobody finna pop up out the trees or nothing, or pop up out the ground. I hope not. You know, I done had some guests lately. But we moving on to my favorite QT&A questions that need addressing. So the first question: do you find yourself trying to explain yourself or your reasoning? I have. You know, not as much as I used to. These days, it's just kind of like, take it how it is. Like, if that's what you want to believe, then fine. Like, I don't do it too much. I may, if we have a debate or we have a going back and forth, I may say like, you know, this is why, or, you know, this is what I meant, but I'm not going to keep on going back and forth. Only because, well, I'm going to say it now, but I'm going to go into depth later. People only understand from their level of perception. They can only understand it from their level. All right. Second one, do you have friends that defend you or explain your side of the story? I hope. I got some, though. I ain't gonna lie. I do. Third, have you ever been upset trying to explain yourself? Absolutely. Not recently, but just in general, I have been, you know, it has been times where I find myself getting real angry and like, nah, look, it's like this. And nah, what are you doing? Listen to me. And they ain't won't listen. But it's okay, because guess what? I still end up being right. All right. And then the last one. How does this pertain to mental health? So we know my favorite verse, my favorite phrase, the paradigm shift, right? So you have your paradigm, your internal blueprint, your worldview. And how does it pertain to mental health? So first of all, if we just talking normal, mental health is how we act, think, and feel. It can make you sad if you ever try to explain yourself and people ain't trying to listen to you for whatever reason. Maybe because you are just a liar and they don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Maybe that's what it is. You know, maybe, you know, they ain't listening to you because, you know, you do be tripping. You do be overreacting. And now they don't want to listen to you. It's like, oh, here he go. Here she go. You know, don't ever get to the point where people saying, here you go. Because once they got there, they'll never listen to you again. And that's hard. That's a hard place to come back from. Speaking of places people can't come back from. No, I'm just playing. I ain't finna do that. I ain't gonna do that. But that's funny. I'm gonna save a while later. I'm actually gonna get into it later. Maybe. But yeah, there's a few other reasons too. It can make you angry. It can make you feel as though you don't matter. Let me tell you something. Your black life we value. Your black life we value. But your side of the story don't matter. Yikes. All right, y'all. So we jumping right into things today. I want to get into, you know, why we feel the way we feel and why we act in the way we act. So first, let's jump right into the 4 reasons. All right, and we're gonna unpack this. And of course, I always got a few little, you know, tidbits and tips and tricks from certain places. So 4 reasons as to why people won't listen to you. All right. Some of this info comes from an article on Psychology Today by Susan Heitler. It's called Why Doesn't She Listen to Me? And it's 10 possibilities. So I didn't use all of them. I just kind of used my reasoning and a few pieces of data to back it up with a few ones. So I'm going to get into that. All right. So the first one, history. Your history. You are a liar. People don't believe nothing you say. Either you telling fibs all the times, little white lies. Either you just lying. We always know somebody that be lying. Either you just, you know, have a history of doing certain things. So by the time you get to the actual thing that maybe this time you didn't do it, ain't nobody trying to hear it. You know, you keep having problems like cheating, lying, constantly having fallouts. You attract mess, you know. This could be on both sides. Maybe you the person, or maybe you see that person that's like that. You know what I mean? And it can be hurtful, but in the same breath, you got to check yourself and ask yourself like, dang, why don't nobody ever believe me? You know, maybe you are this like big monster, or maybe you're not a big monster, but you do have this big personality. And personally, I believe that people with big personalities, it's easy to blame them. I believe that. I believe it's easy to blame them because it's like, oh yeah, they did that. Or, you know, sometimes people don't think highly of you either. Maybe they really believe you did everything negative said. Watch them people that always believe something negative said about you. Watch them people. Because if they always believe something negative about you, then in my opinion, I feel like they want to see you. They don't want to see you up. They don't, in my opinion. I could be wrong. That's just number one. All right, so we got through the first reason. Let's get to the second one. So the second one is, it's that they just don't like you. It's you. You the problem in their eyes. You, even if you're right, they still gonna need proof that you're right. I don't know why they like, it's like money. Somebody just told me I look like Bruno Mars and what's the name? Silk Sonic. I look like them. If I look like them, then I look like money. All right, so first of all, I got the little baby reference, then we got Silk Sonic. So, sorry. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. All right, but, so anyway, again, they just don't like you. You know, and you could say that the grass is blue. No, you could say that the grass is green, and they gonna be like, no, it ain't. Ain't no grass green, and they looking at green grass. I'm telling you, that's just how it is. It's you. But it also could be, according to the Psychology Today source we got, it could be because how you treat others. So from that same source, it says, before you criticize, better look at yourself. Those words from a famous singer often perennially helpful advice. Maybe the person you want to have hear you better has been getting shortchanged on the listening end too from you. See, look at that. Are you too often dismissive, minimizing the important things of what others have to tell you? Do you only listen to what they show you or what's wrong or what they said instead of listening for what's valuable? Do you listen for what's wrong? You know, again, we got to hold you accountable too. If you haven't listened to them, the odds zoom downward that they will hear you. If you ain't been listening, that is. The good news is that pretty much everyone wants to be heard just like you. So take that into consideration next time. Are you listening to them? The third one is your body language. Now this one, if you know me, you know I lost this one. I ain't even finna go there with you because my body language is very strong. I blame my daddy because his body language is very strong and his facial expressions. But yeah, mine are terrible. They ain't gonna lie to you. I need deliverance in that area, but you gonna know. I ain't feeling you. I don't care for you. This is how it is, you know. It is. But same source, it says that everything we say comes from an invisible yet clearly perceptible tag on that says either you're okay or you're not okay. Even a slight tone of irritation, complaint, and criticism is likely to evoke defensive responses. Defensive responses block hearing in order to prevent that you're not okay message from penetrating the other sense of self. So sometimes it just comes off, and it's easy to tell. Some people can hide it well, but you know, I'm gonna just wear shades everywhere I go, and the real dark ones, and a mask on at the same time. See, we can wear masks and not look foolish. So I'm gonna wear a mask and some dark shades, and it's like, can't nobody see my facial expressions, right? Maybe, I don't know. And the fourth reason why people don't want to hear what you have to say. 3 words. They don't care. Simple. It's not a legit reason or A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They don't care. They don't care. They got other things to worry about. Maybe they fried like a chicken. Maybe they just don't care. And that's all I got. I ain't even got no source for that. This the thing though, y'all. You will stress yourself out trying to explain yourself why you did this, why you said that, why you hanging with this person, why you doing over there, why you going to this job, why you left that job, why you cheating, why you not cheating, she cheating, you should be cheating back. You get tired of explaining yourself. And we need to shift our paradigm. We need to shift our way of thinking. All right, so let's challenge that. So this comes from ChristianToday.com. It says, you are bashing your self-worth on others' evaluations. Trying to convince others that what you are doing is worthy is like trying to recruit a cheering squad. Your actions don't need a pep rally. What they need is you. Sometimes we need we need validation. And that's the issue I'm learning. A lot of people need validation for everything that they're doing. You know, it's one thing to get advice, but you don't need everybody's okay for something. Like, I can't stand a yes man. And I everybody know, you know, I ain't that. I may ask for your feedback on something, but I don't need it, you know. It says you are losing trust in yourself when you explain to someone why you are doing something and you don't get the reaction you're hoping for. You are going to start questioning yourself. You are going to wonder perhaps their objections and criticism have merit. And just like the air being let out of the balloon, you are going to feel deflated. So again, same thing. We looking for somebody to tell us this is right. What you doing is right. You winning. You the star. Ain't can't nobody tell me I'm the star. I already know. And no, not Patrick Star. But when I look in that mirror every morning, I just see the star. Shooting star. Psh. You feel me? I feel it. It says the last one, you are losing focus. Every time you spend energy trying to convince someone that what you are doing is a good idea, you are focused only on one thing, convincing them. It says who you are not convincing is yourself. And that's the major thing. But let's flip it. All right, still with ChristianToday.com. It says, when was the last time you heard something about someone and immediately judged that person? The wise person always checks the source and makes an effort to listen to both sides of the story before making a decision. There is an excellent story and several excellent stories that illustrate this. So let's unpack that real quick. So when we unpack it, we realize that no matter what is said, we have to check the source. That's another part of these stories and why people don't listen to you. Who is it coming from? So if it's one thing if you're in the middle, and it's one thing if you're on the other side. But if you're on the other side and somebody come tell you something, question who that person is, because people be out here lying and people be twisting and manipulating stories. You know what I'm saying? So even though you can't control how people feel about you, don't be that person that's quick to hear something and just instantly believe it. Question it first. And I'm the type of person, if I hear something about anybody, even if I believe it, I'm going to always defend them. I may, in my mind, think otherwise. And when I'm having one of my discussions with myself, like, yeah, he did that. Yeah, she did that. Yeah, nah, they did that. But in the streets, I'm gonna have you back for the most part. Well, no, I am. I fear I am. And if I don't, hold me accountable. It says, always understand both sides. Stick to facts. Even though there may be two sides of the story, does not mean both sides are equally true and valid, particularly if one party has vested interest in portraying something in a particular way. Don't jump to conclusions or act prematurely on the basis of hearing one side only. Here's the thing. When I say that your side doesn't matter, I want you to accept that. Now, your side does matter. Your opinion and your way of thinking matters. But the point that I'm making is accept that it doesn't, so that you're not being hurt or you're not letting the views or the opinions of someone else, like we mentioned earlier, make you feel like that balloon and deflate you because you so caught up in, oh, they don't believe me, they don't trust what I'm saying. Because it can be hurtful. It really can. But that's why I said if you move with that mindset of saying, oh, you know, I don't have to explain myself, but you confident in what you're saying, it really doesn't matter. But in the same breath, don't jump to conclusions and, you know, get all the facts first. You know, let people be innocent until proven guilty, even if it sounds like something they did. Because if you accuse them of something that they did, and they did, or you think they did, and even though as bad as it looks, and they didn't do it, they're gonna look at you sideways forever now. Because it's like, maybe not forever, but you know, long time. Because it's like, wow, you believe that? Really? All right. And then it says in most instances, we need to verify the facts, so traceability becomes important. In the consulted word, if something is not in writing, it doesn't exist, which ain't true. It says, I found this practice, this is the man talking, to be quite applicable in most areas of our lives. Lack of transparency is usually an early warning sign that something is out of control. So be transparent as possible. I try to be. You know, again, you can be transparent and open and still not tell all your business. You know, you ain't got to be super secretive either. But in the same breath, like, it's like everybody ain't got to know everything, but people need to know something. Because if you really want people to relate to you and what you're doing, then you got to make it to where they hear you. They feel like they can relate to you. And I try to do that here at P.S.A. as much as possible. Make it as relatable. You know, even if it's conversations you really don't want to hear, whether it just might be boring to you, it's still relatable. And I try to relate it in some way. All right? And make sure you do that. Again, and just because something ain't right don't mean it didn't happen. It's a lot of things that ain't on tape that happen. Think about that. Think about the stuff you got away with. And that's the thing, too. We try to be judges and we try to be, you know, locking people away and all this stuff. But in reality, it's just not that. You just can't do that because flip it. How would you feel if somebody did it to you? And I ain't gonna lie, I've done it before. I've been like, kill the non-believer, burn the witch. And it's like, if somebody did that to you, you know. So just relax. It says, on the other hand, we shouldn't become too rigid in our thinking process. It says rules, policies, and documents are helpful. They set guidelines, boundaries, and so things can get done in an orderly fashion. However, our credibility suffers when we rely on rules and policies instead of being flexible and doing what is right. So some rules ain't right. Some rules are not right, and we can't just align with everything. Now, I'm not saying go out here and break rules and flip tables and start to purge. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, just kind of, test the spirits. And I'm going to leave it at that. Just test the spirits. What we say, what the other week was, it was last week, wasn't it? Or 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, maybe? Discern. Use it. All right? And that's pretty much that with that. All right, y'all. So my tips and scenarios for my college students. First and foremost, things will happen. Stories are going to be told, whether you telling the stories, your blabbermouth, or whether you're hearing the stories. Anytime, some come up as crazy as it sounds, your good character will outweigh that. Your good character will outweigh that stuff. So that's why, and I'm not saying to just be okay with people talking crazy about you or saying things about you that you didn't do, but in the same breath, do not stress yourself out trying to defend yourself. Do not go around on no campaign. If somebody's out here trying to do a campaign against you, it's going to work for a minute, but it's not going to last forever. So let them do it. Just relax. Don't fight fire with fire. Don't go to hell on them. Only because even if you do go to hell on them, and you may win in that moment, but you're doing all that, and it's like, by the time you do all of that, you keeping it going, versus you bowing out of it and just letting them have it. Okay? The second one, stop doggone lying. Some of y'all some liars, bro. Y'all just be lying. And I know several people that just be lying. I be like, what you lying for? It's just, muscle memory at this point. Just like, oh, yeah, I went over there. No, you didn't. Oh, yeah, I'm going to your thing. No, you're not. You're going to lie. Come up with an excuse. The third one, honestly, y'all, seek professional help if you need it. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Remember, a lot of these colleges are offering free therapy. If you feel like you just can't do it, the podcast ain't helping, you Googling Wikipedia and they telling you to block them on everything and never talk to them again. That ain't always the best method. Go seek a therapist, a counselor. And again, y'all, a lot of these colleges offer them these services for free. Take advantage. A lot of y'all jobs too. Look into it. And this is another one. Forget them people. Realize that if you got to keep explaining yourself, then they might not be the people that need to be around you. And that's something people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that the people that they grew up with ain't they friends. The people that they went to school with ain't they friends. The people that they've been working with these last 3-4 years ain't they friends. And maybe they was they friends, but the season expired. Because everybody can't go. They can't be with you forever. And I just feel like a lot of times, if people are questioning you and they never questioned you before, or it's like something they said that you did and you didn't do it and they sound crazy and people contemplating, well, you do. Wow. Maybe you're not my friend. Maybe they not. And that's okay too. Hopefully you got friends that'll defend you. That's a horrible feeling when you find out somebody didn't defend you in a situation or they just play like it ain't had nothing to do with them. Because the thing is, you don't have to always go hard and like, you got my friend messed up and swing on nobody. But dang, you could just be like, don't do that. They ain't not here to defend themselves, that kind of thing, But I'll say more of that for another day. All right, but just kind of touch on some stuff, okay? In the remarks, I just want to say that, again, don't take it as a diss when I'm saying your side don't matter. Your side matters, but just have the mindset that people don't care about your side. That way you're not getting bent over or, upset because they don't want to hear it. Then you're not out of breath. You're not at home crying in your pillow or throwing rocks at the windows or finding memes to post in your story about how your niggas ain't your niggas. Just so you got it. All right. So, ending off with the question of challenge for the day. So, It's both a question and a challenge. It says, do you feel that the need to explain your side of the story? Why or why not? Moving forward, I challenge you to accept whatever people think or say. That's it. You don't have to always go on a, and sometimes you can just address stuff one time and that just be the end of it. You address it once, but certain things, honestly, and I ain't gonna go into too many details, but certain things you can't address because then it's gonna look like it's true. So it's certain stuff you just kind of gotta let it ride, and that's the main thing. Let it ride, and sound cliche, but let God be your defender, you know, and whoever don't, it is what it is. All right. So look, y'all. Next week and the weeks to come, it's May. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. We going over things that are like therapy for people, things that are therapeutic for them. So we got some guests this whole month. You can see me on May 27th with X Ari on Story and Podcast a Day. It's an event bright forward and everything. I'm in a mental health virtual festival. Yes, your boy booked. You know me, never not working. And so check that out. I got some interviews dropping soon with some other businesses and some other companies. So check that out. And just be prepared because I got some big for y'all. We coming close to, we got some things coming. We coming close to the middle of the season. And in the middle of the season, I like to drop something. I ain't going to tell you what I'm dropping, but you'll have to check it out and see. All right, y'all. So thank y'all again for tuning in, getting these streams of this episode. I know it's doing numbers. I know it is. I know it is because of the title. I know it is in the way I set it up this week. I know it. All right. P.S.A. sign out. Always remember, keep your head up like your neck hurt. Remember who you are and make your mind up. Don't let it make you.